Good evening. At this time, I'll call the meeting of the Dysart Governing Board to order. And first up, we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. All right. Our first item of tonight is the public hearing. Dr. Croto.
Thank you, Madam President. Tonight we have our public hearing on our proposed budget, and Ms. Mary Del Spadell will take over for that.
Thank you, Dr. Croto. Madam President, members of the board, cabinet, and community, tonight I am pleased to present the fiscal year 25-26 budget for the board's review and adoption. The proposed budget, if you recall, was presented to the governing board at the June 16th meeting, and since then it has now been posted to ADA's website as well as on our district website for the last few weeks, really to allow that time for community input and or comments. So as statute states, we are not allowed to make any changes from what we proposed to the governing board up to this point in time. So tonight it will just really be a brief recap of the information and the amounts previously presented. So as required by statute, we must propose by July 5th, which we did at the June 16th meeting, and we must adopt it by July 15th of each year. At the time we proposed our budget, as you recall, the state legislature was still in session, and so they actually did not end the session until June 27th. So the budget forms and everything that we proposed and will now adopt on were the previously issued kind of temporary forms from the Auditor General. They've now since issued the budget forms that reflect the final legislative changes, and so those will be coming to you at a sooner than usual revision. We are required to do it by September 15th, so we anticipate having it to you before the end of the August meeting. So at that point, I will definitely go into a lot more detail with just all the changes that resulted from legislative session. So as mentioned previously, in the proposed budget, we were conservative on our estimates as we didn't know what was going to was the final result of the session. And so our proposed budget limit for M&O for the 25-26 year is $220.2 million. And again, we'll be updating that amount to reflect final figures at our upcoming revision. Our unrestricted capital, again, the $24.9 million related to capital items. And then the second one is the Emergency Building Renewal Grant Program that's funded through the School Facilities Division. And as we mentioned previously, right now we have kind of a temporary $1.5 million placeholder until we hopefully have all of the various applications that we have in with the board reviewed, and if funding allows, get those approved, and then we'll be revising this amount in future revisions as well. The classroom site fund, that did stay the same from our previous estimates, and so the increase in the allocation from $792 per pupil to $842 per pupil resulted in the $48.1 million budget limit for 26 fiscal year. And then finally are all of our different special projects funds, and so this, again, as I mentioned previously, these are very high-level amounts. All of the detailed funds can be found on the attached budget that was there for your review, but it goes into far more various funds on that page 6. But this is just really the summary of our federal grants and state grants, which, as I previously mentioned, these are just estimated allocations. We still haven't received our final amounts at the time. And so once we know final allocations, carry forward, et cetera, you will see this amount revised as the year continues. And then our food service fund, we have an estimated $13.5 million of activity for the year. So that was just a very brief recap, again, just an overview of the things we discussed at the proposed budget meeting, but we have included all of the required links on our website, as well as we've linked it to the ADE's website where the notice of public hearing was posted, as well as the proposed budget for public review. And with that, I will stand for any questions.
Thank you. With regards to the special project funds, do we have a planned date? Will that also be included in the August, or is that might be on a different date?
Madam President, Member Dustish, so the special projects funds, we anticipate our cash amounts, we don't revise until as the fiscal year continues. If we start seeing specific activity, we'll revise those amounts. The federal and state grants, though, if by August we have more known allocations, our budget team does update that in the system. So you will see potentially some slight adjustments to reflect anything new that we've been given and provided at the federal and or state level.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a quick question regarding the special ed funds, it went up 4 million, looks like an increase. Was that due to enrollment or services?
Madam President, Member Drake, so that amount, we usually do see an anticipated increase in the weighted student count that continues to come into those categories. So any potential increases are usually attributed in that special education program because we do continue to see increased costs in those areas. Again, as the year continues and the actual expenses kind of align where they need to go, you will see that amount adjusted to reflect more accurate activity.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
As this is part of the public hearing, are there any questions or comments from our audience this evening? Okay, hearing none. Thank you so much for the update. We'll now begin our regular meeting. And now is the time for the address to the governing board.
Yep. We do have one speaker, but let me I scroll down on this just a minute. This is a time for the public to comment. Members of the board may not discuss items that are not specifically identified on the agenda pursuant to ARS 38-43 01H. Action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter, responding to any criticism, or scheduling the matter for further consideration and decision at a later date. In order to facilitate accomplishing the business of the district in a timely manner, a time limit of 3 minutes will be imposed for each individual or group addressing the board. When you approach the podium, please state your name for the record. And our speaker is Derek Stahl.
Board members, Dr. Croto, hello, my name is Derek Stahl. I'm a reporter with Arizona's Family, working on a story about the district. And I wanted to say thank you to the district for being willing to answer my questions over email, but there were some questions we wanted to ask directly. We're working on a story about the trip to Las Vegas last month. So as you know, Dysart sent about 200 staff members to Las Vegas, to Caesars Palace for a 3-day professional development conference. The trip was budgeted at $465,000. So my question to Dr. Croto and to others is, how do you reassure parents this was the best use of taxpayer money, given that the district just eliminated school bus routes to save $500,000, almost the same amount that the trip to Vegas cost? I know that the district believes strongly in the value of the solution tree vendor. But is this board aware that there was a study done on the effectiveness of Solution Tree's PLC at Work training? This was done by the University of Arkansas and their Office of Education Policy. And they looked at 90 schools in Arkansas that got 3 years worth of training, up to 50 training days per year. And they compared that to a control group in Arkansas, and they found no statistically significant impacts on student achievement. And the study was such a big deal in Arkansas that Solution Tree actually withdrew a $100 million proposed government contract. So my second question is, if 50 days of training, Solution Tree training, didn't move the needle, how can the public expect that 3 days of training in Las Vegas would significantly move the needle here? So given all that, my question is, will Dysart be sending another group to Las Vegas next year? I realize this matter perhaps I would argue it's related to the budget, but might not be on your agenda tonight. But perhaps Dr. Croto can address some of these concerns in his superintendent's update, given that we just had this trip last month. And if not, we'd be happy to stay and we can hang out and we can chat after this meeting. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, next we have our superintendent update. Dr. Croto.
Thank you, Madam President. Tonight, we kind of recap our summer learning this year, and with the start of the new year, Happy New Year to everybody. And today was a great day, and I'll get to that in a second. So the summer started off, as you know, with our summer curriculum workshops, where we had well over 900 of our staff come and train on the standards to look at student results and what we can do better instructionally to help our students succeed. So that was a great opportunity for our teachers that we held here. We will continue to do that. This is our third year of doing that. And our teachers are making big strides in unpacking standards and really diving into the Arizona standards and looking at what is important for our students and how to better instruct our students. So kudos to everybody involved in the summer workshops and to our staff that put this all together. They spend a numerous amount of time planning that and pulling that off for the 4 days at the end of school. Also this year, again, we continue our professional learning community commitment to our professional learning communities. This year, a major focus was placed on unwrapping essential standards and designing common formative assessments around them, which allows teachers to better intervene when a student is having trouble learning. As students master content at different paces, we all know, we develop systems that make the differentiated instruction more manageable and more critical than ever, because it is our commitment and is the charge of this board that all students will learn in this district, not just some. The district also benefits from the emphasis on collaboration and results. As I spoke this morning to our new educators, we are about collaboration and we are about results. We don't test kids just to test and report. We do something with the data, and these professional learning communities allow us the avenue in order to make those results and do something with them. As stewards of our taxpayer money, we believe it's our responsibility to ensure high levels of learning for all students, not some. Again, striving to be an A district. As you know, 2 years in a row we are an A district. Results are coming soon, and we hope it's for 3 years in a row, but that not only reflects our commitment to excellence, but also adds a tangible value to the community. So including when schools are good, our community is strong, our values, our property values are up. Everything is great when our schools are great, and that's the commitment, and I know that's the commitment of this governing board. So by following that PLC framework, we're both achieving that goal and laying the foundation to sustain it over time. Our scores continue to rise. We have more schools as A's than ever. And for the first time in this district's history, last year, you know that we had 0 C schools, and that's to celebrate. And that is for the process that we have put forward and we have committed to as a district, and not just this governing board, but all our faculty and staff who work hard to achieve that goal. And lastly, today, we welcomed our new educators to the district. It is their first day. They started in this district, and what a happy day. Celebration. Everybody was there to pump up their schools and deliver a message and welcome them to a school district, to the best school district in the state of Arizona that is committed to student achievement. So as always, I talk about, we are not where we need to be academically. We understand that, and we will never be, because we always strive to achieve better. And we had about 200 individuals today who are committed to that. So it was very exciting to see that and welcome them to the district, and we look forward to training them in professional development again in the next couple of weeks before they start in the classroom. So with that, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Croto. Next, we have governing board update.
I attended also this morning the employee orientation event this morning at the Vista Center, and there was a lot of enthusiasm for the upcoming new year with the new teachers and administration. Dr. Croto gave a very upbeat speech telling the new teachers how important they are in the lives of the students and for the Dysart School District. That's all I have.
In late June, I attended the Arizona School Resource Officer Conference. Just very proud to see that our City of Surprise Mayor and Council received an award for their commitment to school safety. I'm also happy to know that all of our schools will continue to have officer coverage in all of the cities that we serve. Also in late June, I attended the Professional Learning Communities Conference, along with our district and site leadership, as well as staff members. It is truly incredible to see the engagement, planning that goes on in our off months. I am excited to see this program being continued and really ultimately improve academic success in Dysart. This morning, I welcomed our new teachers and staff at the new employee orientation. Such a fun event with very positive energy. Thank you for all your work with that. And that is all I have. Next up, we have the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion.
Can I ask a question about one of the subjects? And it's more of an information for probably the public. So I know that we have the SRO agreement in there. I just want to have a conversation just so that the public is aware of how these funds are coming. And I want to ask, how are the SORs paid for today? And then is there like a plan, because I think I know the answer, but I just want to verify. If that goes away, I mean, what do we have to think about, sort of?
Madam President, Mr. Scavara, that's a great question. Our SROs are paid for by a grant. They are fully funded by a grant through the state of Arizona. And should that go away, we are forecasting in the future. We know the importance of our SROs on our campus and our SSOs, which are also paid for with grant money, that we have been setting aside and forecasting for the future because we know the importance of law enforcement on our campuses, and we appreciate the law enforcement on our campuses. They make a huge difference in our lives, and our community tells us every time we talk to them how important it is to have them on our campuses. So we appreciate our cities of Surprise and El Mirage and everything they do to the commitment to our SROs, and we have every intention to continuing that, and we'll plan accordingly in the future should those grants go away. But our intention is to have them on our campuses from here on out.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I motion to approve the consent items as presented.
I'll second.
And just to explain my vote, I'll be abstaining from this. Oh. That is a weird view. Motion carries. I can't see that far. That one's better.
That's different.
All right. Motion carries. All right. We're navigating a new system tonight, too, just so everyone knows. Did you? Okay, thank you. All right, next up, we're moving to item G1. Dr. Croteau.
Thank you, Madam President. Tonight, we update Policy 1100, our district goals. As you know, in the last meeting, you approved our district goals. They are in policy, and therefore, with the changes we made, we need to update that policy. So with that, I'll stand for any questions, but this is the update to the policy on the new goals for the district.
Not a question, but just a comment. Again, just want to thank you for all of the work that the board put into this, as well as cabinet and as well as Dr. Croteau. I know we spent a lot of time on the language in these goals, and I think they're pretty cool.
I agree.
Any additional conversation from the board? Okay.
I motion to approve policy 1-100 revision as presented.
Second. Motion carries. Okay, now we're moving to item G2. Dr. Croto?
Thank you, Madam President. Tonight, we present my goals for you for the 25-26 year. I know you have read through them, and I will go over them quickly and answer any questions you may have about the goals. So tonight, 4 goals. Obviously, Goal A is our district, the Dysart Unified School District. Every student in all schools will be prepared with the knowledge and skills to achieve career and college success. We have a few indicators in here, design systems that promote academic achievement, career, and college success. So we're going to maintain a 3-year district average of student proficiency in ELA and math that's greater than the state average. We are doing rather well with that, and we continue. If you notice on these goals, differently from last year, we did list the data measurements, the evidence of progress, the targets, and the met and not met criteria for those goals. So that is A1 is the 3-year. A1B is increase the percentage of students earning CCRI points or maintain 90% or more of students achieving these points. CCRI is College and Career Readiness Index. It is used in our state labels for our high school students. So we had a study session way back in the beginning on this, but it is an indicator of how well students are progressing through high school and getting experiences and gaining experiences to be successful in the future. So we say 90%. We are rather high right now, obviously. We continue, but anything over 90%, our goal is to have all kids score more than 1 point in the CCRI, and we're doing very well with that. So again, you have the indicators there with the met and not met. Goal A2 is develop and implement a district-wide system for monitoring and supporting our professional learning community effectiveness through the ongoing work of the Guiding Coalition. So this year, we are moving to a Guiding Coalition that is district-based, that will go in and evaluate every single school for our professional learning communities. We will have meetings gathered on that, and we will continue to strive to make our professional learning community strong. And talking around student data and student results and improving our teaching. So that has continued to be a goal for this district. Continuing academics, develop and implement a district-wide system to strengthen instructional supervision through reflective conference practicing. Again, instructional supervision is our evaluation of our teachers in the classrooms. We continue to professional develop our administrators in going into our classroom and diagnosing lessons with that, not only diagnosing the lessons, but following up and having a very constructive conference to improve their teaching practices. We know the major difference is the instruction in the classroom, and the better we get at instruction in the classroom, the better our students' results. So we are committed to that. And I believe, if I can get this to scroll, that is it in the academics. So I will stop for any questions in Goal A before I go on to Goal B.
Can you just explain what the Spark coaching is again?
Yes. Our Spark coaching is a couple pieces on the Spark coaching. It is a system where they come in and we have a DIP, District Instructional Practice rubric, that we look at. Spark teaches around those principles. So I'll pick out checking for understanding, the key pieces in a lesson that exist, and what to look for in the classroom. Spark is the program we use to professionally develop our administrators in order to go in and diagnose a lesson. So they practice diagnosing a lesson. They get evaluated in the classroom diagnosing a lesson. So picking apart the effective pieces of instruction that matter, and then They also get evaluated conferencing teachers. So how effective are they at a conference and getting a teacher to reflect on their teaching and make improvements. So Spark is the program that it houses all those pieces to do that.
I don't have a question. I just have a little bit of feedback on the measurements. I would like to see that we don't have an equal to. It's either a greater or less than. To me, a goal should always be climbing, just in my experience. That's one area that I would recommend we alter a little bit.
Okay?
One thing I would recommend is, I like the met, not met, but I'd like something that says how we can rate that we've exceeded that.
Okay?
If there's a way to look at that so that we can really go exceeds, meet, not met. Thank you.
I agree with Board Member Destish. I think that for our evaluation process, I think that that's critical to have a met, not met, and exceeds.
Okay, we can definitely look at that.
And that would go for all of them, obviously.
Right.
Okay. But everything else, in my opinion, looks good.
All right, moving on to B, Goal B. Goal B is the Dysart Unified School District will recruit, train, and retain a highly qualified staff to cultivate a culture of student success. A few indicators in here. We're going to develop and implement a marketing plan to attract and track applicants for positions district-wide using a variety of tactics and incorporating specific strategies based on the analysis of key performance indicators. So as you know, we have a number of things that we do to attract employees. We use our digital media, we use social media, we have job fairs, we have interviews. We are all over the place in doing this. We have all kinds of metrics and engagements and measurements that we use to do that, and we will continue to do that. It has made a difference. I think that we have seen that this year and that huge difference in this competitive field, and we will continue to make those changes and be in the forefront of attracting employees. So that is our first goal in B1. The second one, B1B, district will maintain a 3-year average retention rate of at least 75% of the first through third year teachers as measured through employment records. Retention's efforts will be supported through targeted mentoring, onboarding, and professional development programs. So we know in the first 3 years is the crucial part. As the new teachers start, we have a whole bunch of supports and professional development we put in place for our first through third year teachers. And one of them is mainly our teaching and learning specialists who focus on them. We know if we can support them, make them grow, and develop them into good teachers, that they will stay with this district, and that is our goal. So with that, we continue to do that and go and grow and have less and less people to hire every year. So goal B, again, continuing on, is always to deliver exceptional customer service through measurable satisfaction outcomes. So we have an annual parent survey that we can track. We will track results on that annual survey, but overall, our percentage of our parents that strongly agree that the climate satisfaction and communication categories of those surveys is strong, and that they like being in our district, and it's a positive experience to be in our district. So very important on a number of aspects. So that is the goals in B. Okay. C, goal C is the Dysart Unified School District culture will be beyond reproach for a safe and secure environment for all stakeholders. Again, safety is a huge piece of this district, is a huge target for this governing board. We take it very seriously. So we will continue. An additional 6 campuses will conclude the full safety audits, which is on a 3-year implementation cycle. And then we will start in on our second round. So 2 more campuses will be into the phase 2 inspection completed. And you've seen those, we've shared those audits. They are very intensive and thorough audits of our campuses, making sure that safety is there for our students. We will continue to do that. Again, have 8 done this year, which is a huge feat, and go from there. C2, by the end of 25-26 school year, training will have been expanded to ensure all groups are performing safety measures successfully with immediate support and feedback. Again, we need to train our SROs on some new legislative requirements. That is in there. Our observations of SROs and SSOs, our training for our security guards, that we are preparing the people on campus that need to be prepared, and we are providing that professional development for them to be successful. So that is goal C with that. And C3 is throughout 25-26, 100% of all non-compliant items that require immediate attention, as identified through safety drills, inspections, and audits, will be addressed. These items will be visible to Dysart personnel through a dashboard maintained on the Safety Operations website. So as you know, as these audits and inspections and safety drills, as we look at those and move to find things that we need to improve on, it's not only identifying, but it's making sure that they require immediate attention and they get taken care of. So again, our safety department does a wonderful job at that, and does a great job at that. So that is the goals in C.
Dr. Carrota, quick
Yes.
question. In the event that if we have discrepancies in that and they do a reinspection or a new drill within the 30 days and they still fail, do we have any recourse, or we just do it every 30 days?
No, our safety department, if they continue to do that, that has not happened because our safety department makes sure that they have to do what they need to do to get to compliant. But if it should, we will go back and continue to do it until they get it right. We won't wait for another 30 days. So if it needs immediate attention, our safety department is excellent in that, and they will have the resources there to make sure they get compliant as quick as they can.
Excellent, thank you.
All right, our last goal, Goal D. Goal D is using input from district stakeholders to identify, prioritize, and allocate and monitor budget resources to support the district goals. The finance team meets with all department administrators, community committees annually to allocate resources based on the needs that will support the district goals. Again, we try to reflect a 5-year capital plan. So instead of being reactive, we try to be proactive. Again, that's something this board has brought up a couple times. We plan for the future. We continue to plan for the future as we do all across the board in multiple things. So we will continue to do that and allocate our resources there. Goal 2, maintain transparent district and site budgets, make them continuously available on the finance website for monitoring. Very important for our public in order to see our budgets and anything with our finances is transparable and transparent and on the website. So we continue to do that, and we will continue to do that, and welcome anybody who wants any information on that is on our website. And C, the superintendent will strengthen community partnerships by attending or facilitating at least one engagement opportunity each month. I think it's important, and this governing board has charged me with making sure that we have strong community connections in multiple fronts. And we do have some strong community partnerships. We will continue to have partnerships, and that's what makes this district and this city shine, is our partnerships and our willingness to work together as a team to get the best outcomes for our community. So we will continue to do that on multiple levels. So, and then one more in this budget area is maintain fiscal compliance and accountability as evidenced by timely budgets, annual financial reports, and clean, unqualified external auditor opinion. As you know, each year we have a financial audit by an outside firm that comes in and audits our district. Each year we continue to do very well, and we will continue to do very well. It is a priority of this district that fiscally we are responsible and we are accountable. So we continue to do that through the auditors and have unqualified external audits And we will do that again this year and make that public. As you know, they come to a board meeting and present all the findings to you at those meetings. So, and actually, I was wrong. There's a couple more on there. Audit reports will continue to provide a clean, unqualified opinion. That is part of that again, and that is it. So with that, I'll stand in for any questions and then make a plan. Maybe I can bring this back next meeting with exceeds. I don't think we're going to go through and figure that out, but I can go through that piece and also address the equal to, and then bring them back for final approval, if that's okay?
Yes,
Or
thank
any
you.
direction I'll take from the governing board, whatever you'd like to.
I just have a question on Goal B.
Goal B,
It could be
okay.
probably for any of the administration. For our 1 to 3 year teachers, what concerns are they leaving upon? Is it classroom management? Is it professional development? Do we know what the issues are of why they're leaving?
Madam
Mr.
President.
Mattingly?
Yeah, thank you. Madam President, governing board members, it's a common thread or norm out there with all school districts with new teachers coming in, and research is really telling that we're losing a lot of our good teachers in the first 3 years of their service in any educational format. And so typically, it's salary and support. And so support is in our control, as Dr. Croto said, and that's something that we're really focusing on to hone in and really increase that retention with our new teachers.
And teaching is a very difficult task. It's a very, very difficult task, and I think some come into the profession thinking that it's easy, and it's not. It's a craft that takes time to perfect, and takes a lot of support when you're struggling in the classroom or need some tools in your tool belt in order to get stuff done. And so one of the main reasons, as Mr. Mattingly said, is they don't have those resources to develop those tools, and it's important that we give them that.
Because I was also thinking too, do we do any type of internship with the universities or the community colleges around us that they could come in and intern and learn about classroom management and make a decision before they graduate if this is the right career for them, you know?
Madam President, governing board members, absolutely, those are the relationships we have with most of our districts, that MOUs that this governing board has approved, where there is opportunity well before they get into that junior and senior year where they can come in and observe and shadow. So depending on the program that they're coming from, it depends on the timing of when they have that availability. But those options are available, and we do engage in that.
Thank you.
And just to know, I mean, part of those resources and support for new teachers are those professional learning communities that we support them with, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I was going to bring up, that was one of the things that impressed me at the PLC, was the community and the collaboration with teachers to be able to work together and have that support and someone they could go to get assistance. So I was really impressed with that.
So we're leaning towards tabling this, correct?
Table it, or you can approve with verbiage revisions as discussed.
Well, the problem is the verbiage revisions, I mean, I think he needs to think about that a little bit to what that would look like.
I'm fine tabling it if you want to table it.
I think we should table it.
And bring it back
Okay.
on the 28th.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's 28th, right?
So, yeah, with that, I will make a motion to table the approval of the goals.
I second that motion.
Motion carries. Okay, moving to item 3 for the budget. Dr. Croto.
Thank you, Madam President. As presented tonight, we are recommending to adopt the proposed budget as Mary Dell explained to you early in the public hearing, and we can stand for any questions, and if not, we put that forward for a vote.
Motion to adopt the proposed budget for fiscal year 2025-2026.
Second.
Motion carries. All right. Next up, we have item G4, recommendation to appoint trustees to the Employee Trust Board. Dr. Croto.
Thank you, Madam President. Tonight, we have a recommendation to our trustee for the Employee Benefit Trust Board, and Mary Dal Spidel will present this item.
Thank you, Dr. Croto. Good evening, Madam President, members of the board. As Dr. Croto stated, we do have currently an opening for a 3-year term trustee on our Employee Benefits Trust Board. As noted in the agenda item, the process of filling this governing board-appointed trustee position included communication through a press release that was issued on May 8th. We received various applications, and then ultimately we had a phone interview conducted with all the applicants. Based on that process, we are pleased to recommend Mr. Connor Hutchison, who is here in the audience tonight, for appointment as a trustee to the Employee Benefits Trust Board. He met all the stated requirements and demonstrated that commitment to supporting the needs of our district staff. And really, at this time, I also want to extend my appreciation to the other applicants, to really for their interest in serving and also volunteering in this community. It is also an unpaid position, but it's nice to have received multiple interest from others. And so, at this time, I just respectfully request the governing board's approval of this recommendation, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. I move to appoint, I'm sorry, where's the?
Recommendation to appoint trustee.
Oh, my God. Go ahead.
Recommendation to appoint trustees to the Employee Benefits Trust Board.
Second. That's worded so weird. Motion carries. Congratulations. At this time, we'll move to item H. Do we have any requests for future agenda items?
Yes, I'd like to discuss the Canyon Ridge STEM night where they had the 6th grade science exhibits projects. I just wondered, would like to discuss why all the exhibits were just on one topic as far as eco-friendly renewable energy sources and not on other topics.
So you want to report on Canyon Ridge STEM Night? Is that what you're asking for?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we can put
Just an
that.
information item, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Anything else from?
Yeah, I would like to request, I was looking in our policies, and I did not see that the board has an ethics policy. And I would like to discuss, if we do have one, where can I find it? If not, how do we go upon creating one? And on top of that, I also, I call them 3 Ps, policy, procedure, and process. I did not see a process or procedure if a policy is broken by a board member.
A policy on if a policy is broken.
Yeah, like
Okay, I
the
got
steps
it.
and
Yep.
what we would want to do. Not necessarily disciplinary, because that would be up to the board. It's more of how do you go upon reporting it, what process has to be followed, and then, the steps. I got another one. I would like to see if we can get a follow-up on the overview we had with Freedom and Countryside, thank you, on the initiative for Spalding.
Okay?
Any other requests? All right. I move to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
I'll be out on the 28th, so I'll need call-in information, please.
Do a
Yes.
verbal. Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you.